Welcome to my channel, Susan's Way. What is this channel all about? Well, for many, many years, I have been on a journey with manifestation, and there is a lot, a lot of flipping noise out there. And I wanted to create this channel to share with you some of the rubbish that is out there that's probably driving you crazy. And I also want to share with you the truth, my truth, that could be your truth. So stay here because today I'm going to be talking about living in the end. This is a buzz phrase that we hear so many times. Living in the end. Go to that place where you're living in the end, that your dreams have all manifested, that you've got the love of your life, that you've got the money, the business, the health, the wealth, the career, whatever it may be. And it's said that if we live in the end. So Neville Goddard will say, go to the end, live in the end. Be that person now. Don't wait. Don't wait for it to show up in your 3D reality. Actually go there now. Because how I see it is if you have to declare what you are. You have to declare that this is what you want. There's no other way that the universe understands you. So the universe will understand you based on who you're being. So right now, you will be living, well, not maybe not you personally, but most people will be living waiting for the external to change before they change. So you might be in a place where you're looking for more money, and you will be waiting for money to fall into your lap like it's just going to fall from flipping space, and it might. Because if you believe that it will, then it will. So we will wait for something to happen, even though we are acting from a place of lack. You could be sitting there. I have no money. How am I going to pay the bills? I don't know what to do. There's never enough money. I'm going to have to go and get another job. I don't know what I'm going to do. And you're expecting money to come to you. Now, this isn't the law of attraction. I don't coach the law of attraction. But this is to do with who you are being, living in the end. Because money cannot come to you when you are off the energy and the vibration of lack. The universe will respond to who you are being, not necessarily what you are saying. However, there's a caveat to that because what you are saying is going to be reflected by who you are being. You can't say, oh, I'm so rich and I'm so wealthy. Money just flows from every orifice and it flows into me and out of me and it's just perfect. And then at the same time go to the supermarket and choose all the cheap things. That doesn't correspond. When you are at the place where you are fully being the version of you that has what it is that you desire, that's when the universe will respond. Where, like I've said, when you start, when you are in a place where you're waiting for things to change, you're just hoping and praying and wishing that things on the external will change, that money's just going to show up because you know you have been manifesting. And why is it not showing up yet? See, manifestation isn't about doing things. It's not about doing and, like all the things that we see on the internet about affirmations and visualizations, etc. It really is so simple. And it's almost too simple that your intellectual mind won't accept it, which is why we go scurrying and looking for different things. And we start thinking, well, there has to be another way because nothing's being reflected in my 3D reality. I'm not seeing anything different, even though I'm doing all the things. So let that prove to you that doing all the things doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whatsoever. Even living in the end. When you can come at that from a different perspective, and that's what I'm going to show you today, or I'm going to explain to you today. When you can actually start to drop all of the processes, techniques, start disengaging from consistently listening to things over and over, looking for something else, looking for an answer as to why it's not happening in your 3D. You are the answer why it's not happening. You are the answer. So, living in the end, if you are living in the end and you're having to force that every single day, you get up in the morning and go, here we go again, because you're feeling that you have to do all the scripting and the visualizations and this and that, then you're going to find this very difficult, because what you're trying to do is change your energy, frequency, and vibration. You're trying to change who you are based on your current experience. I don't believe you can be, if you're not happy in your current experience, then we don't have to be flipping happy in our current experience. The one thing that I can share with you to live in the end is to know who you flipping are. Know who you are. You are not your 3D. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You're far more than that. You are an extension of God, source, creator, universe, call it what you wish. You are an extension of that. God created us with everything. He created us with everything. We don't need to want for anything. That comes from our human, irrational, logical mind. But it's not the truth. It's the truth that the majority of people live by. And all it's doing is repeating itself over generation, over generation, over generation, that this is what we need to do in order to change our life. You want more money, you have to go and work. Because, again, the majority of people believe that that's the only way that money can come in. Or somebody has to die in order for you to get inheritance. Living in the end, knowing who you are, is very different to living in the end from a traditional or a manifestation perspective where you have to do things. There is never an exchange when you are source, you are God. You don't need to exchange anything. If anything, what you exchange is your energy, your frequency. So instead of living in the end and having to force that and having to force yourself to be happy and content with your current circumstances, even though they're absolutely dire, and you don't want your current circumstances, which is why you're wanting to manifest something. Most of us want to manifest something when we are in a place where it's the opposite that we're experiencing. So most of us want wealth because we're in a place where we are feeling lack, we're feeling poor. When you understand and know that you are God, source, universe, creator, when you can accept that manifestation is something that you have always done, always, it's something that you consistently do, but with our human mind, we will be manifesting things that we don't want, and we tend to manifest from what we are experiencing in our 3D reality rather than what we want to experience. You see, your 3D reality isn't even real. It's from the past. It is from it's from your perception of life. This is where we start talking about energy, and you get to change your energy. You get to change frequency, your level of consciousness. But your 3D reality is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of what you are hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching. It's a reflection of how you perceive life. It's a reflection of your imagination. So if you are using your imagination correctly, you will experience everything that you desire. Everything is first created in imagination. It all starts with imagination. Everything starts with imagination. This cup started in somebody's imagination with the dog paw prints and what have you. I don't even know what it's made out of. But it started in somebody's imagination. There's no other way. We have to imagine first. But most of us will imagine in the negative. So you're like, I've got no money. Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay my bills? And you start running this story using your imagination as to how bad life is going to get and how nothing changes and how everything is just rubbish and you're suffering and all what have you. You're using your imagination to actually create that. And then before you know it, in a week's time, a day's time, whatever time is just an illusion, but whatever you're creating in your mind, you experience and you say, see, I told you that would happen. Yeah, because you created it. You created it. Living in the end, when you know that you are God, source, universe, creator, you don't need to want, you don't need to do anything. God, when he created the earth and he created life, didn't think, well, do you know what? I'll do that once I've done this. I'll get something in return. So I would love to put some trees here, but you know what? I know that I need to exchange something. That never flipping happened. He just created it. And that is what you have the power to do. But we're brought up in a society where there has to be an exchange. Remember, there was never an exchange when I mean, creation's finished. There was never an exchange. There was never a, well, I'll give you this if you give me that. Even money was never existed years ago. Money never existed. There was never an exchange. You are a creator. You are source, God, universe. You are that. You're an extension of that. You are a spiritual being with an intellectual mind in a physical body. You are not the body, and therefore you are not the mind, because the mind belongs to the body and thoughts belong in the mind. We have to let go of all the thoughts. We have to let go of that conditioning. We have to release the experiences that we've had so far. Neville Goddard says it beautifully. You must die to your current self if you want to experience something different. You must die to your current self. For me, that has changed over the years since I've been studying Neville. And as my understanding and awareness has heightened, how I perceive that is very different now. You have to die to your intellectual, physical body and mind and allow source to take charge. Allow your higher power to come in to take charge. And then you will find that living in the end, knowing it's done, you don't need to exchange affirmations, because when you're doing an affirmation, you're claiming that it isn't yours already. Everything is yours. Everything is already yours. Creation's finished. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to accept it, allow it to come in. And how you allow it to come in is by being that version now, living in the end. Be that person that has the money now. And that doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy a yacht and put it on your credit card. That doesn't mean any of that. It's about your energy, your frequency. It's when you go into the supermarket and you think, I'm going to buy the cheap stuff because I don't want that stuff going in the bin. I want to buy that particular brand of food, even though it's the cheapest, but I actually love it and I want that. It's not about going and putting money on credit cards and putting yourself into debt that's going to maybe cause you worry and stress and doubt. It's about your whole energetics towards it. The way that you're feeling about it. And what we must do when we're living in the end is ignore circumstances. Bashar says this all the time. Ignore circumstances. Circumstances do not matter. They don't matter, because that's a reflection of a version of you that you are now choosing not to be. You're now choosing, no, don't want that reality. I'm going to choose this reality now. And that, what you're experiencing in the 3D, if you react to that, and you give it emotion, remember the universe listens to your frequency and emotions. It doesn't necessarily speak, like listen to you. It's not, its language is frequency. So when you're acting that you have it already and you are not wavering one bit, you are completely in the knowing that it is yours because you know who you are, you know the power that you have. It has no option but to show up in your reality, in your 3D experience. There's no option whatsoever. It must. It's how the universe works. These are your universal laws. You can't be that person. You can't be the person that has all the wealth and you continue to lose money or not have enough money. If you think about it, when you're being that person, imagine the money was here. Imagine I said, there's a million. There you go. Off you go. There's a million. How would you be? That's how certain you must know. And you must be that without seeing it. We believe that we must see it in order for it to be real. When we start using our imagination in the way that it was always intended, that becomes your reality. And all this going on around you, it's just a circus. It's just a game. We're using your 3D reality as a reflection of what you have gone of what you have implanted into your imagination and then into your subconscious mind. And what you're experiencing, this is when people say it's a reflection of you. It is a reflection of you, because if you're experiencing lack, that's because in your imagination you are creating lack. Live in the end. Know who you are. Know that you are powerful. Know that you are source, God, universe, creator. Know that that is what you are. This is manifestation without lifting a finger. This is living in the end. Go there now. Disregard the 3D. Disregard it. It doesn't matter. It's old news. And live in the end, knowing that you are source, God, universe, creator. Know that's who you are. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are far greater than that. Thank you for joining me. You can comment below. You can book a one-to-one session with me, and I'll see you soon.